welcome to episode 65 of PauseCast. It is Thursday, the 30th of November, 2017. I am Jessica Alouette, and I use she, her pronouns.
And I'm Mark Hanna, I use he, him. Welcome.
Thank you, as always, for joining us here on PauseCast, our weekly show and discussion about video games, which, Mark, you and I were having a discussion prior to recording, and, you know, we're really glad that people put so much time into just all the videos that they put up on YouTube and on Twitch.
And the screenshots they create in Photoshop.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's phenomenal stuff. And, like, it's all in service of this, like, illusion that video games are real.
Like, you know when people say, oh, conspiracies like the moon landing, it can't be real because someone would break face. But you can just point to video games as an example of, no, look, the whole internet conspires together to put on this farce that these things exist, and it looks so realistic. So, sorry, we just want to break the fourth wall, like, once, and, you know, break character a bit.
So, we're breaking the artifice here a little bit, and we're talking about everyone's favorite non-real passion for video games. I know for a fact that I've never played a video game in my life.
I mean, do they really exist, honestly?
That's why I've never played a video game.
I mean, you know, there was a rumor around school as a kid that Pokemon might really exist, but I don't think I ever really believed it.
Yardgnome737 in the chat says, how can video games be real if our eyes aren't real? And I'd like to thank Jaden Smith for joining us this evening.
I think that's a joke I don't get. Jaden Smith?
It's a quote of a Jaden Smith tweet, who is Will Smith's son.
Okay.
And he posted a tweet that said, how can mirrors be real if our eyes aren't real?
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what any of this is. It's a stream. This is a nonsense stream filled with garbage, and sometimes it's about video games.
But basically, thanks for joining us for 65 episodes. I think we're going to dive back into character now. We just wanted to break it back once to say thanks to our viewers, and now back into that imaginary world where video games are a thing.
So, in this imaginary world where video games are a thing, what video games have you been playing this week?
Well, I feel since the last recording, I've had barely any time to play video games. But I have... Sorry, it's hard to get back into it, isn't it?
It's the fourth wall.
On one evening, I played that Dead Cells game again, and I beat the first boss, which I felt kind of excited about. But, like, that's all I've actually managed. I've been busy.
Oh, shit.
So I haven't played any more of what is now canonically in my mind called Dying Light Drifter, after a slip-up I made last night. I haven't played any more of that, which was kind of the one I've been playing most recently. I haven't gone back to my podcast game at the moment, but I have played a little bit more of Dead Cells, and it's been fun. You know, I think... No, actually, who am I kidding? I haven't got better at the game. I got lucky, and that's how I beat the boss. I had a run where I got, like, a free life item, and also I managed to upgrade my healing item that I could heal twice instead of once per life, so... I mean...
I feel like in roguelike, sometimes that kind of just is how it is. Yeah. You don't actually ever get good at a roguelike. You just kind of fake it until you make it on, like, the one run.
Yeah, pretty much. So that's happened, and because I beat that boss now, I've gotten to see a bunch more content. I stopped after that run, so I haven't gone back to see if, like, I get up to the boss again and have to beat it again, or if I just have access to those other levels now. I'm not sure, but it's cool to see more of it, because like I said, the art is just really good. It's so pretty.
Hashtag content.
So actually,
that's the only thing you've played?
I also played like 10 minutes of Forza, thanks to you.
Yeah. Mark, you were over for dinner last night. I made you play Forza for a little bit.
Yeah. So I drove a little car around on 3 wheels.
You drove my favorite Jack Skellington car around, and that's really just it brought me a lot of joy.
I mean, I would have picked Cheese Louise if it was there, but I had to pick your car instead.
Which vehicle? Sorry,
that's the one that I told you about. On Simone Yetch's YouTube channel, she's bought that like 1970s electric car.
Oh right, yep. I remember that. Yeah, if that was there, I would have bought that in a heartbeat.
It's so good.
I'll link to the thing that Mark is referencing in the show notes. So yeah, one of Mark's games also is also my game. I played a lot of Forza this week. I was very graciously gifted the full copy of that game, which means now I get to drive around like a lot, a lot. I've had that game for a week, and I've probably put about 10 or 15 hours into that game already, and I'm at 3% done.
What's that counting? Is that like the number of races you've completed, the number of cars you've unlocked, or what's the count?
I think so, yeah.
Because does it have a story? I remember I was a bit surprised. It seemed like it was open world. You drive around to different like events and stuff.
It
right?
has a little bit of a story, so it has a setup at the very least, and then it has systems kind of underneath that. But what the premise of Forza Horizon 3 is, you are the boss of the third Horizon Festival, which is taking place in Australia.
Okay,
As
that
the
explains
boss,
why everyone sounded Australian.
Yeah. As the boss, you are in charge of managing the festival, managing the lineup, managing what kind of events are being done.
Wait, is there like a management side of this game?
Like very, very light.
Okay.
The management system is called the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
And what it is it gives you it pulls from your friends list and from just Xbox Live. It pulls various drivers all together.
Wait, it pulls from Xbox Live. I was playing it on PC at your place though.
Yep, it pulls from Xbox Live. It's one of those games that's on their Xbox Play Together initiative.
Oh, okay. I suppose because Xbox are basically running Windows, right?
Yeah. Yardgnome737 also correctly points out that they are actually called drivatars. It's very bad.
That is horrible.
It's a terrible. I feel like I'm like just dirtying language as a whole every time I say drivatars. It's bad.
Bad for whatever marketing person came up with that.
Oof, yeah. No, they've really committed to the bit on that one. But
imagine being like on stage giving a presentation and having to say drivatars with a straight face.
Oh, I got it.
Like it's a serious thing that people are supposed to like.
Yep. It's bad. So either way, it pulls drivatars from your friends list and Xbox Live, and you get bonuses for based off of like how many experience points they've got, how many fans they've gotten over the course of playing. Fans are like a second kind of experience layer to it.
Right. Okay. So they're like souls from Dark Souls.
A little bit. Like there's an actual proper experience system, and then there's also a fan system, and the fan system is used to like upgrade the festivals.
Okay.
You start with
so
one
you
festival
spend
site,
fans,
and
you put them in the grinder, and out comes out like an event.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens there. So you have your fans. You once you get enough fans, you open up new festival sites. You get like special races called showcases, and basically that's how like that side of things is how you upgrade the festival proper. And as the boss, that's kind of your end goal, is just to like make this Horizon Festival as cool as it can be.
That sounds kind of open-ended.
Yeah, it's very open-ended. And it's very... It's kind of interesting because it allows for, there's blueprints for all the races and stuff that allow you to customize certain aspects of it, like how many laps are in the race, what kinds of cars are allowed to be used. There is, of course, your lineup to manage. There's the festivals, like you can choose to level up all these festivals to different levels, and they get new attractions and stuff, and the site gets a little bigger and becomes a little bit more showy.
So when you say the site gets bigger, is that like the area you can drive around in, or?
No, the actual, like, so there's designated spaces, which are the festival sites.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where, like, the biggest concentration of people is, and it's kind of your hub as well. All your cars are stored at your festival sites.
So this is a location in the open world area.
Yes, this is a location in the open world. It's where you start each time you load into the game.
Okay. Yeah, maybe there were a bunch of cars in there because I was trying to do a bunch of head-on collisions, because that's the first thing I want to try in any car game is what happens if I drive really fast into this thing that's driving at me really fast.
Yep. And I mean, you only saw a little bit of it too, because we didn't even have like simulation stuff turned on.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I told a lie. That was the second thing I tried to do. The first thing was flip your three-wheeled car. I tried to do like a high-speed handbrake turn and see if it would roll over, and I was disappointed that it didn't.
I was astonished when I took that vehicle out. Like the first time, it's so small and ridiculous, and it handles like a beast. It's kind of just nuts. And it's been bolstered up from having like a terrible performance rating and stuff like that. Like I threw a bunch of new parts into it, and now it runs like it'll run with the best of them.
Mm-hmm.
It looks completely ridiculous
It does.
doing so. You cannot stop the skeleton.
It's the best. But anytime I see a car with three wheels, I can only think of Mr. Bean's rival's car, and every time that showed up, it would get tipped over. So anytime I see a three-wheeled car, I think this is going to tip over real easy. So I was disappointed that it didn't. I mean, I can understand, because I suppose a car that tips over every time you turn a corner, isn't that fun to drive in real life or in a video game? So I can understand why they didn't do that.
No, it seems like it might hurt and suck.
Yeah, but I still kind of wanted it to happen. I could just imagine how, like, I would set it up so everyone else is driving those cars except me. And I'd be like, I won the race because everyone else fell over.
I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility that you could create a race that forced everybody to use those cars. That specific car, too. It would be very funny to watch. Just all these, like, dinky little shits just trying to run around this, like a circuit track. God. Forza's good, though, as it turns out. I guess that's kind of the crux of all of this, is I've really, really, really been enjoying it.
Then you showed me that the photo mode in it is pretty cool as well, right?
It's completely ridiculous. It has, like, fully calculated motion blur and aperture and, like, a whole fucking swath of things that I don't normally see in photo modes. It's really great.
Can you make your cars do poses?
I mean, kind of. You can
Really?
actually, like, you can do the, when you're showing them off in, like, the garage, you can kind of open up the vehicle.
Okay.
Like, you can open up the doors, and you can open up the hood, and you can open up the trunk and all that. And
You
can
can't do
take
that
photos
if you're
like
taking a
that.
photo during a race. And be like, just open the
No,
doors
I
in
don't-
this photo.
Yeah, just, like, explode the car. Just open everything. How's that doing for your aerodynamics? Pretty bad with seams. That by the way, that three-wheeled vehicle that you drove around, it opens from the front.
How do you... Wait, you get in the front?
Yep.
What?
Yep.
How?
The front part of that vehicle is a door.
Does it, like, open up or to the side, or...
Yeah, it, like, opens kind of up and out.
Is it a single seat inside?
Yes, it is a single seat vehicle.
Okay. That's weird.
It's fucked up. The pedals are on the door.
Yeah, that's really weird. Where's the engine in the back?
I would imagine so.
That's about the
It's like
extent
a
of my
deep-
car knowledge. Got
It's
three
a
wheels and an
deeply
engine
weird,
somewhere.
fucked up vehicle, and I kind of love it.
Are you going to get one in real life?
Oh, fuck no. If I was going to get a vehicle in real life, I'm getting a motorbike.
I don't know. I mean, just one more wheel. That's all it takes.
I mean, yeah, I mean, a tricycle, sure. I mean, I could get that too.
And then just put it in put it in a box.
But also, I could get a motorbike. That's much more my style, I feel.
I would die so fast.
I don't know. I don't think you would. Maybe a moped would be good though. Hey, maybe a moped. What about a moped?
I think anything that makes a lot of noise, just I wouldn't be able to drive.
I would. You can get a fully electric moped.
Okay, yeah, electric. Actually, that
was
that
would be the only way I would get it. Fuck paying for gas.
That was something I noticed while that little bit of Forza I played. I think if I were to buy it and play it, I would definitely be playing with the sound down low. The sort of noises you get, I mean, because it's always been kind of like a more simulation-y than arcadey game, even if it might change the balance a bit. And that often means you've got loud car engine noises and stuff, and those are not good for my headaches. I think if I were playing it a bunch, I'd be playing it with like the sound way down and probably the music up.
It gives you pretty fine-grained control over that, and actually, like music up and car engine down is actually like a preset.
Oh, nice! That's good.
In the sound options, it's just like, hey, we know that not everyone's here to like hear these cars go vroom vroom.
Yeah, and I know some people like it. I honestly, it's just one of the things about other people that I don't understand, but I know it happens. But you know, I remember that
I
from
don't
other
understand
racing
why
games.
I like it either, to be honest. Like, I don't know why I like those engine noises. It's just good. Something about it.
I don't know. It's not as good when it gives you a headache, but that's just me.
I mean, I respect that. That's why I don't drive like a loud asshole in real life. I don't drive in real life, just in general. Seems bad. I don't like it. Driving in a video game, I can do driving in a video game for a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely prefer driving in a video game to driving in real life.
You say that as someone who's been driving for years.
Yeah, but like, it's only ever been, hey, I need to get to this place, kind of thing. It's never been like, hey,
Yeah.
I feel like going for a drive. No.
Yeah. I know some people kind of like drive to clear their head kind of situation.
Yeah, and I mean, there are people who like will take the car to a racetrack or whatever. Different people, different enjoyments. These are bad words. I don't know why I'm picking them, but the sentiment is there, I suppose.
I would be kind of interested in learning to drive in a like racing context. I think that would be kind of interesting. Yeah. I remember back in Canada.
Yeah.
It used to be that you could get like a license and you would be like 16 years. You wouldn't get a license, but you could drive a like race car at the age of 16.
I don't know what the rules around that are here. I wouldn't be surprised if it's similar.
But, like you didn't even need to have a license because it was on a private track.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you'll get a lot of people who grow up rurally in New Zealand who've been driving well before they've got a license because it's just on their parents' farm or whatever. Like it happens.
Yeah, it's like you kind of have to.
Yeah, exactly.
In some situations, like especially if you have like a large farm or something like that, it's like, well, I have to learn to drive this ATV to get across the farm in any sort of timely manner.
Yeah, and
otherwise I'll be walking for hours.
Obviously, there's the zombies to worry about, but it's quite a different environment to a lot of other moving cars. So, I mean, you can't go through cars like you can go through zombies, so it's quite different driving.
Yeah. What else? I'm having a quick think here.
Mm-hmm.
Also this week, Hitman has been a thing that I've been playing. I beat the first elusive target.
Oh, nice.
The stream fucked up, but I did it.
Is this the first one you've killed? I can't remember.
I have killed others,
okay.
Including this one on PS4. This is my first PC elusive target.
Right.
Ash actually went for this one as well, having no experience on the level whatsoever.
That sounds like a dangerous thing to do.
Especially since I realized this twist, this particular twist, after I had started it, but I forgot that it turns off the like ability to see your target through the walls for the elusive.
You can normally see your target through walls?
Yes. There's like an ability that makes kind of acquiring your targets in the main missions.
Actually, I remember
easier.
You mentioned that in the article you just had published about Hitman, didn't you?
Yeah, it's really good for accessibility.
Do you want? Did you want to plug that? Wink, wink, nudge. I'm gonna make you do it.
Hitman. It's on the like front page of the gaming section on the spin-off right now.
Go read it. It's cool.
Link to the show note. The link's gonna be in the show notes when I post those up. Can you put it in chat for me as well, Mark?
Yeah, I'll find it real quick.
Thanks.
See, that wasn't so unbearable,
So yeah,
but go on.
I did that first elusive target. The stream fucked up. It was bad. Ash did it, having no knowledge of the level.
Oh, she beat it.
Yeah, she killed the target. Unfortunately, her outfit was compromised in the process.
Her outfit.
And so as she was making her way, like, if your disguise is seen by someone else, like, doing a crime of some nature, then your outfit can become compromised, and people will be searching for you.
Oh, so like they're searching for the person in janitor's outfit or whatever it is that they're wearing.
Yeah. But, like, ultimately...
Can't you just be like, well, they're not searching for the naked bald man.
Yeah, they're not searching for the naked bald man.
So that's your way out, obviously. Ditch the disguise.
But yeah, you could just change outfits, in theory, if you wanted to. But, unfortunately, she didn't end up making it.
She got shot?
Yeah.
Bugger.
But, she did get the target, so that was good.
That is good.
It ended up getting she ended up getting Silent Assassin on the like main mission on her first attempt.
Is that what are the requirements for that? Is it like not get seen kind of deal?
Not allowed to be seen. Only kill the targets. No bodies found. If you're seen by a security camera, you have to delete the footage. And you must escape completely undetected.
That sounds like it's the hardest one, right?
It's sort of the hardest one.
What are the harder ones?
The only variation is do all of that and do it all in the initial starting disguise, the suit.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, there's Silent Assassin and then there's Silent Assassin suit only. And that is the
hardest
that's
one.
the real challenge. Yeah. I've gotten Silent Assassin a couple times now on a few targets. It turns out that like using poison on someone that is lethal.
Really?
In the middle of a public space doesn't count as your body, like a body being found.
Oh, really?
Because it's considered to be an accident.
Huh. So it's like, no one's like, oh, someone killed this person, I found a body. It's like, oh shit, that person just, like, had a heart attack.
Fucking, yeah. Something like that. That person just fucking died. We don't know who did it, and there's nothing really to suggest someone did do it. They just kind of died. Same with accidents and stuff like that. Like if you drop a chandelier on someone's head and they die, like nobody's gonna give you two thoughts about that.
Yeah, I mean that happens every day.
And of course, yeah, just a massive amount of chandelier death. It's really unfortunate. All those crystals on the chandelier, that's what gets you. It's not the fall, it's the crystals.
Like, you'd think because crystals are magic healing things that, like, you'd be sweet, but it turns out being impaled by 1,000,000 of them isn't good.
Seems like it's bad. Seems like it might, like, cut you up a little bit, maybe.
I was trying to think if there was a pun in there for, like, being cut up emotionally, but no, you just die from being cut a lot. And crushed.
Yeah. There's both of those things are bad, as it turns out. Bad for human health. You know what? It might be fine if you're a rock. If you're a rock, that's fine.
I don't think rocks like being crushed.
They don't like being bludgeoned.
I mean,
I think you can crush a rock.
Bludgeoning is kind of what rocks do, right?
Yeah, but like you can bludgeon a rock and it will break. Like that is the thing. Like you can use a large flat thing to break a rock if you really want to. Yeah. But like if you had a car fall on a rock, for example, That might break the rock a little bit, but it's gonna kind of shove it off. It's got to be like a small concentrated point, like a sledgehammer. That's how you break rocks. You don't break rocks by just throwing big things at them.
I've never tried dropping a car on a rock. I wonder what would happen.
I suppose it depends on the size of the rock
In car.
and the height that you drop the car from. Does the car reach terminal velocity?
Damn it, this is going to be an expensive experiment, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, it probably will be. You'll probably need one of those cranes with a big magnet on the end. You'll need a disposable car, and millennials, am I right? We're not going to find a disposable car somewhere.
There was an abandoned car outside my parents' place until like last week. Why didn't you tell me this earlier?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even kidding. It was there for like 8 months. It was ridiculous.
I know. God. Yeah, I don't know. We could have done this experiment, actually. Do you have access to a big crane?
No.
Okay. I mean, that throws that option.
It seems like an important part of the whole thing.
Yeah, there's like a magnet attached. It's weird.
I could try like replicating this in Just Cause. See what happens to its rocks. I think they just stay the same.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably static geometry.
Yeah.
Like nothing is gonna happen there. All right, we gotta get off rock talk here.
Yeah, it was a bit of a rabbit hole there.
I mean, rabbit holes are good to go down sometimes. I had another game that I've been playing this week as well.
Do tell.
Yeah, one more. It's Prey. 2017's Prey.
Right. Yep.
From Arcane Studios. I got back into that. I restarted it on the stream. I'm going to be streaming more of that game. Kind of probably doing a whole playthrough.
Have you finished it before? You haven't, right?
No, I have not finished it before. It's a completely kind of fresh playthrough. I think it's really interesting.
Yeah, I remember the intro to it that you made me play. It was real cool.
Yes, and it is gradually getting more and more interesting. There were some really cool sequences in those like opening few hours, and a lot of stuff to go around and see and read. Some interesting stuff with the crew as well too.
Crew?
Yeah, so in each area there's like assigned crew. Like there were members of the crew of this location where you are, and they can be in various other places throughout the station, but they are assigned to, they normally work in engineering or whatever.
Are you on a space station?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't get that far enough to know that.
Yeah. You were on the space station the whole time. Is kind of the gist of the kind of opening hours reveal. It's
so I guess when they said you'll be in orbit tomorrow, they weren't lying.
Yep, no, and it's also you've been in orbit for months, and also you used to run the space station. All within like the opening hour. Like it's kind of buck wild. Each side of the station though has assigned employees and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And all of their locations can be tracked through the security terminals, which I found really interesting because it means like if you really wanted to seek out every single person, or maybe there's crew who are alive, you can go and seek them out and try to solve this situation together. That's
pretty cool. So does it become more open-ended? Because the bit that I played through was very linear, but it was the opening, so you expect that?
Yeah, it becomes very open-ended, in fact.
Okay, because you mentioned last night when I said that I got lost a lot in Bioshock, that I would get lost a lot in Prey.
Yes, you would, probably. There's a lot of corridors to go through. There is a lot of spaces to explore. Like, a lot of, like, individual sections of the station. It's a lot to go and see and do. It's gorgeous. It's got a great sense of design too. Like I'm really enjoying my time with Prey.
Nice.
It's one of those games of 2017 that I worry is going to get missed. It's very good. Don't miss Prey.
What platforms was it on again? All of them?
It's on all the major platforms. It's a little bit rough on the console versions as far as I last knew.
Yeah.
The PS4 version specifically had some pretty rough loading times. So, if you're not a fan of waiting around and have a decent PC, Prey on PC is probably the best way to go. But otherwise, PS4 and Xbox One. Shall we move on?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I think I've come to the decision about I'm gonna wait for the Horizon DLC, which has been the one of the games that I've been like looking forward to, which is available now.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna wait until I get my own PS4 before I pick that up. Because I've been planning for a while. I'm gonna get my own PS4 because of Monster Hunter World. That means that me and my flatmate will be able to play at the same time together. So I'll be getting that at some point when it's kind of undecided. But I remember...
I mean, I would imagine closer to the launch of Monster Hunter World.
Sorry, I missed a couple of words in there from Discord dropping out.
I would imagine that it would be kind of closer to the launch of Monster Hunter World would be when you pick that up.
Well, that was the original plan, but now it's like, it costs the same whether I get it now or then, and I'll have that to play as well. So I'm wondering, because maybe what I might end up doing is getting it before I go away for the summer and then can download it and have it when I go away for the summer and play it.
That sounds like a decent plan.
Yeah, I can be at the beach in summer playing a game set in a snow wasteland or whatever it is.
I could also, I can lend you my copy of Uncharted 4 since I know you've wanted to play that.
There is a point.
And like I have some other games that we can lend you.
I won't end up playing as much as I will plan. Like when I take things away, I always end up doing way more reading than I expect when I'm at the beach, which is good. But yeah, no, that is an idea.
Hey, I mean, Uncharted's pretty short. It's
Okay.
longer than all the other Uncharted's, but it's a pretty short game.
I think it took me like a couple of solid days to do Uncharted 3, if I remember right. Like, pretty much all day playing it. So I wouldn't call them short games. Like, they're not long RPGs or anything. They can be dozens of hours. But they're like 12 plus hours, aren't they?
I marathoned Uncharted 3 immediately after beating Uncharted 2.
Wow.
Like, I beat Uncharted 2 and then just ran through the entirety of Uncharted 3 in a single day. It was a 6-hour game.
Okay.
For me.
It has been a few years since I played it, so I guess I'm just misremembering then. Or I played it really slow.
I also played it on the I played it on the PS4.
Yeah, same.
And maybe that's
I didn't.
Maybe that's kind of a factor in that, because there's quite a number of improvements and stuff that were made to those versions, if I'm recalling correctly.
I don't think I just died a bunch or anything like that. I don't know.
Either way,
I think it's probably
Uncharted
just
3 was
memory
pretty
over a
short for
few
me.
years.
Yeah, you could totally borrow Uncharted 4. I want to get into Yakuza at some point.
Didn't you finish that, or am I confusing that with Mafia?
You're confusing it with Mafia.
Okay. Then neither of them are games that I've played.
One is just a crime drama, and then the other is a Japanese crime drama. I've heard good things about Yakuza 0, and I've heard it's a good starting point for the series.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of want to dive in at that point if it's the kind of like best starting point for me to use.
Makes sense. Have you played any of the games in the franchise before?
No, that's the other part.
When was the previous one out? Because has it been a while?
PS3, I believe, was the last kind of major release.
Okay, so it's not like it was 2 generations ago or anything then.
No, it really wasn't. And then there was a remaster of the first one that launched this year, and Yakuza 0, which is a prequel to that, also launched this year.
Oh, I thought that was the new one. Is there another new one besides Yakuza 0?
There was a remaster of 1, and then there's also 6 coming out in
6.
February.
Okay, right. I didn't know about 6.
That's gonna be out in February.
So a bit after
Video
Monster Hunter
game.
World.
Yeah, a little bit after Monster Hunter World.
Oh, every time I remember that game, I'm looking forward to it again. I'm sure it's going to take up so much of my time.
Yeah. Hopefully it's good. I hope that it lives up to your expectations of what like Monster Hunter is, because I know they're like as far as I understand, they're kind of changing a few things.
I think a lot of the
From
stuff,
previous
a lot of the
ones?
stuff they're changing is like they're changing some control schemes, but they're leaving the old control schemes intact. And some of the stuff they're changing, like getting rid of loading screens within a map, that just sounds like a good thing to me. I don't think they're like hugely shortening the fights or anything like that. Like it's still going to have a high skill ceiling and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
I would be very surprised if they managed to disappoint me with it. Frankly, I'm just looking forward to new Monster Hunter content, basically.
I mean, that new hashtag content will be good.
I mean, that's the thing about every Monster Hunter game. You got a mix of the stuff you're already familiar with because they bring back like all the title monsters and some other ones and stuff, and then they introduce a whole bunch of new monsters, and it's all in new locations. And sometimes there's like a new weapon type or two, and that's kind of it. And you've got all the new armors for the new monsters and stuff, and you go through and explore all that. I mean, obviously, if it's your first game, then they're all new to you. But once you've played a bunch, you'll be like, oh yeah, this one first showed up in this game, and this one first showed up in that game, and this one's new and stuff like that. And that, it's always fun to see the new ones.
I think the thing I'm looking forward to most ends up being like the ecosystem stuff, like the actual interaction with the monsters in the world. I'm really looking forward to seeing some of that stuff play out.
Yeah, there hasn't been that much of it in the previous ones. The closest stuff there's been is like if you pick up a Raytheon's egg from its nest, it sort of summons the Raytheon back, which is one of the flying wyverns which actually no, it doesn't fly a lot. It can fly, but it runs around.
I've definitely
and squawks
run
at you.
into some instances where like kind of like your Apatoths will be trying to run away from a larger class of monster, or
Oh
the
yeah,
Jaggies will be kind of like nipping at this other class that's just run into their territory.
yeah. So the herbivores
And that's
run
kind of
away once the predators come, but you've also got stuff like the Devil Joe will eat monster carcasses. Um,
Mm.
Apparently, it's been seen you cut off its tail, and then it gets hungry, it'll eat its tail. Like the
Ugh.
tail doesn't go away; it just goes and chomps on the tail. And I guess the game marks it as like has been eaten by a monster, but you can still carve it. And monsters have always like, oh, okay, they're near dead. They'll go back to their lair and eat, sleep, whatever. But
Yeah.
it'll be cool to have some more dynamic stuff around that for sure.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna see out of that, but I'm looking forward to seeing where it ends up going.
Definitely.
Do you know if we have anything in the inbox this week?
I don't think we do this week, which is a shame because it was really nice last week when we did, and we got a whole big conversation out of it.
I agree. If you want to email the show, pausecastshow@gmail.com. Feel free to send us questions. So, I mentioned a little earlier that I thought Prey was one of those games in 2017 that I thought people maybe shouldn't miss.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious if you have any games that you think people shouldn't miss this year. Like, what have been some of your favorite things that have come out in 2017?
My
Or
favorite
even
thing.
just like things that you've played in 2017 that didn't necessarily come out this year.
Okay, my definitely my favorite video game thing from 2017 is Horizon Zero Dawn. I don't think that really had any danger of being missed. It was a big deal when it came out.
Yeah.
That's definitely been my favorite this year. It's also been interesting to spend so much time in Dying Light, just because it. What year did that game come out in again? It wasn't this year. It was a couple of years ago.
2015.
2015, yeah. So like, it's been good. It's been a game that I've returned to again and again, which has been cool. And of course, playing Dying Light Drifter for the first time. It's always hard at the end of the year thinking, okay, what was there at the start of the year as well? Those are kind of the big two I can think of. They're also fairly recent, I guess, because I've been playing Dying Light recently trying to think if there's been anything in like the beginning of 2017 that I also really enjoyed.
Towards the beginning and for myself, like I definitely had Nier Automata, which I still need to finish.
I thought you had finished. Oh, there's got a bunch of endings, right?
Yeah, it has like there's 5 endings in the like main playthrough, and I finished one of them.
Right.
So I need to do playthrough B, C, D, and E still.
It's a lot of playthroughs.
Some of them are short. As far as I understand, like there's a few playthroughs that are only a couple hours, and it's the first 2 that are the really, really long ones, and they're the ones that actually have like side quests and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I want to play a little bit more of that. That game is really good and shouldn't be missed. What else has come out this year? Night in the Woods. We probably talked about that closer to the beginning of this year.
Actually, wait, didn't Horizon come out fairly early in the year?
It came out in March.
I don't know why I feel like that's recent. Maybe because I spent so long playing it. Oh, maybe, there was Mass Effect Andromeda. Actually, that was something that. Now I'm saying this. I'm saying that was something I really enjoyed, but I haven't finished it, and I'm disappointed because I did lose momentum with it. Given how much I've really loved the Shepard Mass Effect games, and they did keep me with them, I'm frustrated with myself that I lost momentum, because I feel like if I'm going to go back now, I'll probably start again. I don't know, I enjoyed that game a lot, but I don't think it clicked as well as the initial ones, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's the game, I don't know if it's me. I don't know.
I mean, you're a bit in the minority, too, on, like, just liking the thing in general.
Which I hate. I hate that's a minority thing.
You cut out, sorry, could you...
I hate that. I hate that that's a minority thing. I like liking things.
Yeah, I liking things is very fucking good. But, like, you're definitely in the minority, I think, of liking Mass Effect Andromeda. I feel like a lot of people came off really disappointed in that game. What is the thing in Mass Effect Andromeda that you liked the most?
I don't know if that's a question I can easily answer.
Okay.
I mean, one thing is I like it. Sorry, what?
Here's maybe a better question then.
Okay.
Why do you think you could recommend Mass Effect Andromeda?
So, I think everything it's building on is fun. It's a space opera. It's set in an interesting and well-developed universe. I think it's got fun gameplay, just in terms of the combat and stuff, and the content as well. It's non-combat. Like every piece about it, I think is good, but I lost momentum before I finished it. I mean, part of that, to be fair, was my laptop died for ages, and I couldn't play it. So it might not have been the game. It might be if that didn't happen, I would have kept on with it and been fine. I feel like maybe the thing that I had in the original Mass Effect, which I didn't have with that, is it took longer for me to get really fond of the characters, I think. I started to get there a bit once I started doing the loyalty missions, but not to the same extent. But it's hard to compare because the characters I'm recalling from Mass Effect 1, I've also got memories from Mass Effect 2 and 3, so it's hard to remember what was it like before I played those games, you know? And I can't help but wonder how would this game have stacked up differently if this were the first Mass Effect game. You know, if people weren't comparing it to the other ones, would it have been better? Would it have been worse? Would it have been treated the same? I don't know.
Well, okay. I need to build out this hypothetical timeline a little bit more.
Sorry, you dropped out for a moment there.
Okay. I would like to build up this hypothetical timeline where Mass Effect Andromeda is now the first Mass Effect.
Okay.
Here's the question that is going to help me build this timeline. If you could have had BioWare working on anything that you wanted to.
Sorry, I missed a word in there.
If you could have had BioWare working on anything that you wanted to, Any setting, any series, any franchise, like would you have them make more Star Wars games kind of deal? Like what would you have had BioWare make during that time that wasn't Mass Effect?
Mass Effect.
Now wait, it has to be the Mass Effect Andromeda is the first Mass Effect game.
Yeah.
What was being developed in the time between, I don't know, what was, I guess, Knights of the Old Republic and Mass Effect?
Mass Effect.
Oh,
I wouldn't want to miss it.
Jade Empire came out. Okay, all right, that's fair.
Sorry. No, that's a fair question, but honestly, I'm just really glad they made Mass Effect. I wouldn't have wanted to do something different. And I'm stoked that there's another game in the Mass Effect universe, but like it sucks how it's ended up because they've been like, oh, we're not going to make any DLC for it. It sounds like there's not going to be a sequel. Having not finished it, I don't know if it had like room for a sequel at the end or not. I don't want anyone to tell me either because one day I will finish it and hope to do that without having it spoiled for me. I'm kind of annoyed that Mass Effect 3's ending stopped them from being able to do any direct sequels to it because they changed so much that they'd have to keep that continuity, and that's why they had to have something so far separated that it's impossible for the two to end up linked.
Yeah.
That bugs me just about how they wrote the end of Mass Effect 3. I wish the ending of Mass Effect 3 were more personal.
I still really like the finality of that.
I did, but I was talking just last night to Ash about how I felt like I was in the minority liking the ending of Mass Effect 3. There were some things I'd criticize about it, but I think the overall reaction to it was way overblown. It wasn't the awful things many people were making it out to be.
Hard agree.
I do wish it were more personal, though, for sure.
I kind of like the idea of it kind of being an ending that was always out of your control, though. It was like I guess I don't really care that in the end of Mass Effect 3, like the ultimate decision that was made was we're not really going to respect your Shepard's story, but you told it anyway. I kind of like that. I think it's kind of something that maybe more games could be better served by doing, is just having the ending. Kind of leave you to your own fate and let you fill in the middle.
I've just been reminded of something I've seen that I want to find again around this, but I don't know if I'll be able to find it. I probably shouldn't spend too long looking while recording. It's someone made like a comic version of the end of Mass Effect 3, and it was really well done, and kind of what I wish they had done. But I think they'd have a hard time just Googling it real quick. So I might see if I can find that after the show. Because it sort of, the same stuff happened, but they put it in a much more personal light for Shepard, and I thought that worked much better, and I would have liked to see something like that in the game. Because that was the relationships with the characters, that was what made it really, it held you to it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that was always kind of what put Mass Effect above and beyond, too, was the, like, connection that you had with the characters. The humans versus Reapers stuff was never really good or at the forefront of Mass Effect, even though, like, in Mass Effect 2, there was, like, a whole human supremacy angle that you were kind of working with. Like, Earth first kind of situation. It was never really kind of about that conflict, and it was about the characters that you met along the way and the stories that you spun. And so, like, the ultimate, like, fatalistic end of Mass Effect 3 was ultimately not a huge bummer as a result, because it was the overarching story, and I still told my, like, mini stories in between with all the characters that I met.
Yeah, the Save the Universe thing, it was the driver for the action that gave an interesting backdrop to the relationships.
It gave them kind of a purpose, even if it was tenuous. I think I'm using that word correctly. God, I hope.
I don't know if I would call it tenuous, though.
Okay, fair.
But anyway.
Probably not using the word correctly anyway. Something else I played this year that maybe people shouldn't miss is Torchlight 2.
Was
to be
that
honest.
this year? Oh wait, no. You
No,
played
God,
it this
it
year.
wasn't
Sorry.
this year. I said I played it this year.
You did.
I'm fucking bummed. Runic is closed, the studio that made Torchlight.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, they shut down, I think, last month, maybe 2 months ago.
Oh, that's a surprise.
Yeah, it came as a shock when it was announced, in fact. It was... Yeah, they had just come off making another game called Hob, and they released that this year.
Mm-hmm. I remember seeing that advertised on Steam.
But unfortunately, they've had to shutter the studio since the release.
Okay.
Such a huge bummer.
Yeah.
But Torchlight 2, since I played that this year, that can be put on my, like, hey, maybe don't miss this. Even if you don't normally do kind of Diablo-style games, which is to say, like, isometric, kind of top-down loot games, even if you don't normally do them, like, Torchlight strips away a lot of the complexities that are present in, like, the classics of the genre, and even, like, I guess modern classics like Grim Dawn and stuff like that. It strips away a lot of those complexities and makes a lot simpler systems, while also having a really unique art style and being very fun to play. So I would recommend that as a game that should not be missed that I played this year.
Fair enough.
All right. How are you feeling?
I've just found the comic I was thinking of. It's in Four Separate Paths on DeviantArt, but they've got links to them there. I'm just going to drop the link to the first one in the chat, because I remember seeing this a few years ago and thinking it was really nice.
Sounds great. I'll also just put these... I'm going to put these links in our Discord chat so that I can...
Oh, of course, sorry, they go away, don't they?
Yeah, they do go away, so I want to be able to find them later, so...
Yeah.
Episode 65 links. There we go. I'm going to put these in our Discord so that I can find and reference all of these things as we... But yeah, that's a comic about Mass Effect 3 that you have just linked there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of how I wish the angle I wish they put a bit more on the ending. Although, of course, this person, when they made this comic, it was based on the choice they'd chosen at the end as well. Mm. Damn it, now I'm thinking about Mass Effect. You know, there's the...
You could go back to Andromeda.
Well, there's the music that comes in the credits of Mass Effect 1, which somehow is just one of those tracks that I just remember and can, like, recall to memory easily. You know, some tracks you can, some you can't. It always gets me really amped up to play Mass Effect 2 and 3. I don't know what it is about it, but it's in my head now.
Mass Effect 1, huh? Making some bad decisions and not playing Mass Effect 1,
No, it's because it's in the credits of Mass Effect 1, so it's like you've just finished that is the feeling that I associate with it.
Okay.
If I were to play 2 and 3, I would start with 1.
Okay. I'm still the biggest Mass Effect 1 defender.
Oh, no, Mass Effect 1 was brilliant.
Yep, and it is good to play still.
Yes, I agree.
Thank God. Those design decisions, I imagine they're rough on like a console, but on PC, Mass Effect 1's design felt right at home, so I was never really bothered by a lot of the stuff that folks ended up being bothered by with that game. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was also because I played Infiltrator.
Yeah,
so
I
my
did
shots
too.
would always just hit.
I mean, honestly, the only thing I think I'd want to change is make it so that your appearance doesn't just depend on what armor you happen to pick up. Because in later games, your appearance is very much, I want my armor to look like this, and that was great.
Yeah, no, I kind of dig that, but I also kind of like that flip side system of you have to collect the components
I'd say
of armor.
Have armor loot, but you can customize it. Andromeda does this well. Andromeda has, you collect different bits of armor as loot, and you can make them as well. But you decide like the color scheme and stuff. It works really well.
Okay. Yeah,
And they've got like
that.
the same tier armor with different appearances and different abilities. And honestly, the appearance is more important than the abilities. Who are we kidding? That works really well. And I feel like that was a really good step between Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2 and 3.
Appearance is more important than abilities half the time, and that's why I make all of my gear in Destiny work with the fancy shaders. Like Callus is selected, the like raid shader, it's like purple and white and gold. And let me tell you, that looks gorgeous on some of the like best guns in that game, like Origin Story. Kalis is selected, looks really good on that gun.
That's pretty close to Tali's colors, actually, which would be purple and black and gold.
Destiny 2 is good. A bunch of changes coming to that game, too.
Yeah? Doesn't it have an expansion soon?
Yeah, so the expansion comes out on the 5th.
5th of
there's
December.
A whole bunch of,
Holy shit, it's December tomorrow.
Oh, fuck me. Yeah, it is, huh? Hey, how did it get to be the end of 2017? Thank God we're not all dead yet. I say yet, there's room. Fuck. Yeah, we're almost at the end of 2017. Game of the Year discussions are spinning back up. It's a thing. God, no. Video games. Not enough time.
From tomorrow, I'll no longer be able to complain that it's not even December yet when people do Christmas shit.
Ah, fuck. We're out of excuses!
I mean, also, it's only the 1st, it'll only be the 1st of December.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, sorry.
Oh my god. Alright.
Right.
Let's wrap this up, I think.
Yeah, so what are you looking forward to playing in the next week?
I am looking forward to playing a lot more Forza Horizon 3.
Nice.
And Prey.
I'm
looking forward to playing more Prey. That'll be very fun. How about you? What are you looking forward to playing?
I don't feel a drive to play any particular game, which makes me think I'll probably end up playing more Sims or something. One of those like light games that I can listen to a podcast while I'm playing.
Oh yeah, that's right. I have like one more thing in that regard as well.
Oh yeah?
Warframe.
Oh, that's that free-to-play game you were telling me about, right?
Yeah, I'm enjoying that so far. I've spent a little bit of time with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to keep my eyes open.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, being free, I could pick it up and try it.
It's pretty fun and fast and kind of weird. I'm looking forward to maybe playing some more.
Nice.
Yardnome737 in the chat says, "Yo, let's hook up for some Warframe."
Well, there you go.
I will see. Hit me up on my mobile. You know where I'm at. Yeah. I'm gonna do that. That's gonna be my week.
Nice.
Thanks so much for listening to episode 65 of PauseCast. If you like what you heard and would like to support the show, you can do so in a few ways. First, you can support us financially by donating to our Patreon. We have a tier that is just $1 a month, and you can support the show that way. Every dollar helps, and we really appreciate all the support that you can give our show. In fact, we are entirely funded by the support that we get through our Patreon.
Which is really
so cool. Many thanks to our patrons for helping make this show happen. Our patrons include Ash Yee, Noah Holmes, PD, Laminated Moth, Mary, Allerdrain, Sammy, and Residog. Thank you so much for your support. It helps so much. It helps keep the show afloat, and we really appreciate that. All right. You can also help us out by reviewing us on iTunes or on your podcast platform of choice. Giving us a rating or a review helps our visibility, helps get more people listening to the show, really helps us a lot. Same with telling your friends on Twitter, on Facebook, etc. You can do that and just tweet about the show. post about the show. Tell your friends. If you have a friend who likes video games, tell them, hey, this show about video games is maybe okay sometimes. Sometimes they say an okay thing every now and again. Wow, I really stumbled over those words. Holy fucking shit.
That's not what I'm laughing about. I'm laughing about just the sentiment.
Like, hey, yeah, an okay word is said here sometimes. Sometimes they say fuck, and then sometimes it's funny.
It does happen.
Yeah. Fuck. Mark, where can people find you online?
I'm on Twitter at HonestUniverse, and I write a blog as well, though not about video games, at honestuniverse.com. What about you?
You can find me on Twitter at bird.school. And you can also find me on the spinoff.co.nz. I have a few pieces up in their gaming section, so go check those out. One of those will be in the show notes as well. Wrote about Hitman, and I got to interview the corporate VP of Minecraft at Microsoft. So those pieces are up on the spin-off right now.
Nice.
Go read those. Yeah. I hear a cat.
Yes, I was hoping he'd make it. He wants me to open the door for him, but it's okay. We can wait another minute. He's been in here because my flatmate's been vacuuming, so I was very happy to hear that.
Okay. Thank you to Leon for the use of our theme song, Honey Milk Island. You can find Honey Milk Island and other music by Leon by going to soundcloud.com/LEYAWN. That is going to do it for us this week on PauseCast. Thank you so much for tuning in live or for tuning in for the recorded version of this show. And, as always, see you next week.
Bye.